Welcome to the Dimecast podcast. I'm Beto Duran, alongside the reason we're here, Danny Hernandez. And before we start talking with Danny, let me just introduce you to what we're going to be doing. All right, so if you're watching this, you know what it's all about. You are a football fan. You know something about quarterbacks. You might be thinking you're a quarterback. You might be thinking that you're going to have your son or daughter become a quarterback. And you've seen all these quarterback gurus everywhere, and there's a lot of gimmicks out there. We're not going to give you the details of how to be a quarterback. We're going to give you behind the scenes of what it's like on the quarterback journey, from the Pop Warner days to the college days to the pro days. And there's nobody better to do that than the man who the podcast is named after, Danny Hernandez. Dimecast, right? Because you throw a dime, that's the quarterback lingo. Oh, yeah. Well, it's a podcast, so we have a Dimecast. Danny is the founder of Los Angeles Dimes. Danny Hernandez is a quarterback guru, as I call him. He hates hearing that. I am a sports reporter here in Los Angeles. Been around for a while. I have heard about Danny for years. And how did I find out about Danny? The same exact way that a lot of you probably did. I read a story about him. It was in The Athletic. A good friend, Antonio Morales, wrote a story about this young up-and-coming Latino quarterback coach in South LA who had a bunch of different players that were in high school. They were going to be progressing. I reached out to him, like, hey, that was a really cool story. We hit it off, went back and forth. We talked about him and became friends. I don't have any kids that play football. I was the dad who was like, no way my son's going to play football. My kid played basketball. But I always respected Danny for what he was doing because as a sports reporter here in LA for either CBS or ESPN, you got to keep the pulse on what's going on and who is going to be the kid that's next. Well, Danny has next, and then next. And finally, after years of talking, we have the podcast coming. And you're going to hear more about Danny and less of me. I'm just here to ask the questions that you as a parent might have. That dumb question of, how does Johnny become a quarterback? I'm going to ask that. So you might know this, that you might have reached out to Danny and his Twitter account. He sees your messages. You might be texting him. He's got 1,000 messages. I could be your facilitator that could get to him 2 days later. So, Danny Hernandez, am I wrong? Is that a good intro?
That's a great intro. Thank you so much.
All right, so Danny, let's get this right out of the way. So today's episode isn't about how to get my kid recruited, how to get NIL, how do I get him to Notre Dame or LSU. It's about the journey of who you are, where you come from, because everybody has a different path. Did you play quarterback?
I did play quarterback, and really, like, my quarterback journey wasn't going to be something that I thought I was going to be playing in the NFL one day. I think with my thing was I loved the game and everything that was attached to the game, and I knew that I was going to eventually get into the coaching side. And the coaching side pretty much started everything and eventually got into the training side on where it is now.
So you were a coach at Cathedral High, right?
Yes.
Your alma mater?
Yes.
What were you doing there?
Coached there right away. I mean, I was coaching there pretty early. Again, I knew...
Like right out of high school?
Pretty much right out of high school. Pretty much right out of high school. I ended up coaching there, so I was a young coach. Didn't really know what I was doing, but enjoyed it. Loved being around the whole, the team aspect of it all. I had younger brothers that were actually in the program, so there was that part to it, and different friends that had their brothers into it. So it was like, hey, I want to give back. I was still full of that energy of football, and again knew that I wasn't going to be playing at UCLA or USC or anything like that. So hey, I really want to get into this coaching thing. Coached and had
so
an
you knew right
time.
away that coaching was for you.